What's good, family? Good Monday day. Family, I wanted to talk about the system is like breaking our life. And we can say that because it takes 2 and 3 jobs to get done what you need to get done in life. Like one job literally just covers your bills. I'm seeing people working 40, 60 hours a week just to pay their rent. Like they literally gotta go to work, come home, sometimes do a side hustle, DoorDash, Instacart, whatever it is, just to have the extra money to have like whatever they smoke, whatever they drink. President keeps saying that, oh, we're not in a recession. Oh, inflation is coming down. Oh, Americans have more jobs than they've ever had. Bullshit, somebody lying. Somebody's lying. Not easy to see. Not hard to see, shall I say. If there are in fact more jobs, which I don't think that there are, but if there are in fact more jobs, they're BS jobs. Like they're not high paying jobs. And another reason why I say somebody lying is because all these major companies keep it. Facebook, you got the Tyson chicken plants closing in several states. You got Walmart's closing. You have Target's closing. Just here in Atlanta alone, we had at least 2, I believe 3 Walmart's closed. We've had Target's closed. So how is it that all these businesses, huge businesses, big billion-dollar corporations are closing, but we have more jobs than we ever had? Like, eggs cost double what they used to cost. Milk costs damn near double what it used to cost. Like, and now that we have a new war going on, the president's like, oh, we're going to support them. Like, bro, how we going to support 2 whole wars, but in our own country, stuff is effed up? Like, that don't make sense to me. Like, that, it's to the point now, to my opinion, where it's obvious that this is a design failure. This is a planned failure. We are going to create as much chaos as possible, and we're going to come in with our solutions. Like, ain't no way around it. Like, they're planning the demise of the American society. We're seeing looting going on in Baltimore, Philly, San Francisco. People just saying they don't give a F no more, breaking into these stores. You got small businesses being vandalized, really innocent in the situation. There's just like, I feel like society's hanging on by a thread. Like, you have major banks closing, not just here in the United States, but all over the world. Like, speaking on the war, bro, we stretching ourselves mad thin. Like, I feel like we're so thin that if another country were to attack us, we are borderline. We're compromised. That's the word. We are compromised as a country because if China, if Russia, if any of our ops decided to attack us, like now would be the time. We got billions of dollars of equipment in 2 separate countries, and we pretty much already in World War III, just to be real. Just to be dead honest with you. Like, we're already in World War III. They just haven't given it the title because they know it's going to be mass panic when it happens. They know people going to stop spending money. People gonna stop going out. People gonna stop going to the games. And speaking of the games, family, what they not showing you, what you gotta look at and see on alternate media sources and Facebook and YouTube is at almost all of these games, there's fighting. There is like hella people fighting each other. They had the Chargers Cowboys game. At the beginning of the game, both of the teams had a little skirmish or whatever. What they didn't show you was in multiple sections of the arena, fights broke out. And it's like, y'all, they're not going to put that on ESPN. They're not going to put that on the news because, of course, if you see that, anybody with sound-minded body going to be like, well, I ain't going to the game. I'm not going around that many people because anything could happen. And I believe the reason why the fights are breaking out is because people are on edge. Like, people is, they mad as hell. Like, some of these people have to save mad long or damn near spend their whole paycheck just to attend these events. And when they get there, if anybody do something that they don't like it's like, again, by a thread. And I do not advocate that anybody live in fear. I am advocating that you prepare. You keep as much canned food, as much non-perishable items in your kitchen as possible. I suggest you get a deep freezer. I suggest you freeze whatever meats, fruits, and vegetables that you love to eat that has a decent lifespan. I suggest that you keep extra gas for your car. I suggest that you stay prepared mentally and physically. I suggest that you buy some weights. I suggest that you work out. I suggest that you keep yourself physically fit because there is going to be a time that comes when you are going to have to unfortunately defend yourself. Like, there may be a time coming, and no, maybe there is a time coming to where once you do run out of whatever you have saved up and you have to go out and get it, you're going to have to protect yourself because somebody might just try to rob you just because. Like, not even because of anything specific, but just because they want to get whatever resources that you have because they don't have it. Medicine is another big one. Should definitely stock up on medicine. Ibuprofen, Tylenol, ace bandages, alcohol. We laughed at those people who were preppers and who had been prepping and spending mad money investing in prepping. However, they are being proven more and more right. They are being proven that, And I know that y'all been hearing about inflation, the economy is bad, we got our credit rating downgraded as a country, family. Think about how bad society look upon you as an individual when you got a low credit score or your credit drops, how they treat you. Just imagine that as a whole country. Like, it's not gonna get better anytime soon. As a matter of fact, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. And when that happens, you need to be ready because the only thing that's gonna be able to save you is the Most High God, your preparation and preparedness for yourself. You need to be teaching your kids how to defend themselves. You need to be teaching your spouse how to defend themselves. Y'all actually need to be practicing, family, because, again, it's getting crazy out here. More and more people being abducted. You have grown-ups being abducted now. You have grown-ups that are missing. You have all of these things that are red flags that our society, what we know as normal, is done. Like, it's over with. It looks normal on the surface. However, it's like a frog boiling. Like, if you slowly turn up the heat and you put a frog in a boiling pot, he'll just sit there until he burns to death. And that's what they're doing to the American people. That's what they're doing to the American public. They are just slowly turning up the heat, slowly increasing the inflation, slowly increasing the prices of everyday items that you need. And all this is written, all this is talked about in the Bible. It's going to get to a point where it literally says in the Bible, a day's worth of work is what it costs for bread. I know it's hard to fathom that. I know it's hard to fathom that. Working a whole day and that day's worth of work is just enough to support your family eating that day. Like, it's unfathomable for a lot of you people. And I can understand why, because we're coming from a society to where people have $1,000 phones, people have $1,000 shoes, people have cars that cost $50,000, $60,000. But I just implore you, look at the homelessness in your city. I don't care what city you're living in, homelessness is jumped up a lot everywhere. Like, it's to the point now where when I go in very nice neighborhoods, I'm seeing homeless encampments, I'm seeing homeless in settlements, just because where these people gonna go? And what you don't realize is some of those people have jobs. Like when you see people who are homeless, you just assume that they don't want to work, they lazy. No, like if you're working a minimum wage job, that's not enough to afford your own place to live anymore. Like you can't. There is nowhere in major cities that a minimum wage job is going to pay your rent by itself. Period. You're going to have to be in a rooming house. You're going to have to get a roommate. You're going to be in a hostel. What do you call it? Efficiency lodge at best. Even then. And it's really sad. It's really sad. I know. Oh, what really blows my mind that we as a society allow to happen is we allow the government to raise the cost of everything in life but our pay. The pay has not changed in decades. Like, how is it even possible that federal minimum wage is still $7.25 an hour, but the cost of college has risen, the cost of gas, the cost of food, the cost of every single thing else in life has risen, but the pay. Family, like this was bound to happen. Another thing about the Matrix that pisses me off, the system, the powers that be, whatever you want to call them. We had the fires in Maui, right? There are still people missing from those fires in Maui. But we could tell you how many people have died so far in a war between Israel and Hamas that's across the world. But we can't tell you here in our own country, like, where the people at in Hawaii. Either they lying about how many people died and they don't know, or they lying about not wanting to know, or they not trying to find out where the people in Hawaii are. Like, these things don't make sense. Like, it just pisses me off as a society, as a people. Like, as the people, we have the power. Like, we elect these people, and if they're not doing what we want them to do, like, we're supposed to get rid of them. But again, the system's rigged. You can look at a lot of our state, a lot of our congressmen, they get a lot of money, a lot of, I can't call it bribe money, donations, it's pretty much bribe money, from these big companies to do what's in their best interest and what's not in our best interest. And they don't care about us until it comes time for re-election. And then it's like, oh, I've done this for y'all, or I'm going to do this for y'all. Example, Biden. Like, people actually starting to realize that he was not a good president. He is not a good president. The man is too old. I'm going to just be 1,000. Like, the man is too old, period, to be running the country. Like, the man is stumbling, he's tripping, multiple videos, he's kicking his dog. Like, the man is not mentally stable. He's having like bouts of amnesia, like in the midst of speeches, family. Like, how are we not releasing him off of medical terms? Like, I love my country, I support my country, so I'm not going to disrespect the man or say what he can or can't do. But what I can say is he's too old to be the president of the United States of America. We're supposed to be the most powerful country in the world, and we have a man that is the figurehead, that is the quote-unquote leader of our country. That cannot remember his own speeches. Then the LL Cool J comment. How you gonna try to give honor, give respect, compliment a man, and you say his name wrong, and you call him a boy? Like, bro, if you was to call Biden a boy, if you was to call Trump a boy, if you was to call any officer, any man of respect a boy, that's a sign of disrespect. Like, that is an insult. Like, but I digress. We didn't make a big deal about it. It went and came like that. Damn it. They want you so poor that you are eating bugs. They've already written this out. Agenda 2031. They want you eating bugs. Very soon, Tyson just signed a deal with a new company that specializes in cultivating bugs. They've been telling you that beef is bad, cows is bad for a minute because of the carbon footprint, and they've been here forever, family. Like, people been eating cows and beef forever. All of a sudden, within the last 10 years or so, it's like, it's all of a sudden bad. I keep looking over there because somebody tried to come. Again, you know how it goes. Anyway, free country is that free. Well, I will starve before I eat bugs. I will go and eat berries off trees before I eat bugs. There's no way you can convince me that we're supposed to be eating bugs. Like, the Most High God did not create this earth and say, okay, humans, my most prized creation, I want you to eat one of the most disrespected things on the planet. Like, nobody gives a damn about bugs. There's no advocates for bugs. Not like there are the animals and the plants and the trees and the environment. Who wants to eat that? And that's why I say, make sure you get you a deep freezer. Make sure you fill that sucker up with whatever it is you and your family enjoy eating, to be prepared. I don't know when it's going to happen. It might not happen next month. It might not happen next year. But I can tell you, at some point, it's going to happen. Like, all hell is going to break loose in America. And they're going to be trying to give you rations. And in those rations, the meat is going to be bug-based. Like, it's plant-based now. That's how they do things, little at a time, baby step by baby step. Like, if I can get you to eat a plant burger, eventually I can get you to eat a bug burger. Because people, it's a lot of different meat I don't eat. If it say in the Bible it's unclean, I don't eat it. What I'm not going to do is go eat plant-based pork, because if I don't eat real pork, why would I want to eat something that's an imitation of it? And the second thing is, it's alchemy. Like, it's chemicals. It's not, you're better off eating the real thing than you are eating some shit that's made in a lab. Like, it's not real. If you let it sit out, it will break down and you can see that it's not real. I wish we could see what our body breaks the food down into after we eat it. You would be disgusted. Family, be prepared, be prepared, be prepared. I know, right now it's October 19th, 2023. Everything still looks somewhat normal. People are still going to the movies. People are still going to the sporting events. People are still going out and about, and it looks normal. But most of these people are maxing credit cards. They are working double and triple overtime to be able to afford to do things that we used to just be able to easily do. Things that were readily available are unavailable now, and they still releasing iPhones everywhere. Speaking of the iPhone, it blows my mind how they're like, it's titanium. The damn iPhone's been titanium, okay? They've been. I have videos on this platform since the iPhone 7. I know for a fact the pro versions of the iPhones been titanium at least since iPhone 10. That's how like stagnant the technology is becoming, and they have to create a new selling point. So they're highlighting a quote-unquote feature and that's not even a feature, but they're highlighting something about the phone that's been that way, family. That'll be like them putting headphone jacks back on the phone and be like, oh, iPhone 16, now with headphone jacks. We been supposed to have that, fam. Well, I digress. After get your money. It's like phones are like cars now, family. Like you don't have to buy a phone every year. If you buying a phone every year, you sleep or you just got money to blow. One of the two. Most of the wealthy people I know, they rocking the old iPhones. And I already had a video. I asked them why, and they let me know because it made calls, it still play games, it still do everything I needed to do. So what's the purpose of me like upgrading when what I'm upgrading to is going to do the same thing, maybe a second faster? I'd be surprised, like you got YouTubers like Nick Ackerman, he does the comparison videos, and he'll put the latest iPhone versus the last iPhone versus like an iPhone from 3-4 years ago, and when he hit the button, family, it's literally like milliseconds difference. It's not even whole seconds difference anymore. There are people who do the same thing with the Samsung phones. But you good. If anything, you need to be trying to invest in some type of solar power bank that you could use to power your electronics if, God forbid, we were to get hit with an EMT, or if, God forbid, our power grid goes down. You're going to need a way to power these devices, or else they'll just be like null and void anyway. I don't know what they have planned, but I know they have something big planned, and I know that they want to take cash away from us. I know they want to force everybody into this central bank digital currency, and I know that is going to be the beginning of the end for us, because you're going to not be able to do what you want to do with your own money. Just looking at how hard it is for most people watching the video to make money, whether it be you have a good job or you're an entrepreneur. Like, just imagine going to the store to buy milk and the computer telling you no because you already bought a gallon of milk this week and you reached your carbon footprint. I went shopping earlier, like a few days ago, to go buy an item, and the computers were down. And it's like, if we didn't have cash, I just wouldn't have been able to buy that item. Like, cash is a necessity. Cash allows us to really circumvent the system. We can buy and sell from each other and not have to rely on the government and the corporations. If they take cash away from us, that's gonna get so much harder. Like, especially for all you people out there with DOCs, drug of choice. How you gonna buy your weed? How you gonna buy your cocaine? How you gonna buy whatever drug it is that you do? I advocate that you be sober. But how you gonna buy whatever drug it is that you do when You have to give a reason for what you're buying, and if the computer doesn't leave you and wants a picture of what you're buying, like it's about to get deep. And like I said, I encourage everybody watching this video, start strengthening your mind, strengthening your body, strengthening your family as a unit, as a whole. Like, just begin to save. I would invest in physical gold and silver, not in the stock market gold and silver, not in these internet companies that's like you can buy into it. No, family, you need to go to your pawn shop, jewelry store, wherever it is, and buy physical silver and gold. And buy a tester so that you can make sure that you're actually buying real gold, and at least know the purity level of that gold. That's going to be what we use out here. The people who are not a part of the system anymore, when this new world order takes over, the most valuable thing is going to be gold and silver. Electronics may or may not hold value. It's going to depend on if we have access to electricity or not. I'm going to tell you right now, if we don't have access to electricity, all your electronics are worthless. You're not going to be able to trade your iPhone for food if people don't have access to electricity, to charge it. It's at that point, the food is more valuable than the technology. You're going to want to have things of value that, like I said, or some type of precious metal, stones are another good investments, rubies, emeralds, real gemstones, jewelry, like things that pretty much, philosopher said, I can't tell you when World War III gonna happen and what type of technology we're gonna be using, but I can tell you that afterward we're gonna be fighting with sticks and stones. And I firmly and truly believe that. I believe after this war, it's gonna bring in more and more people, and eventually it's gonna be evident that we're in a world war. And when we do that, America gonna go crazy. They're gonna go crazy. Like, they're gonna be breaking into all these stores and businesses. Just trying to go to your Walmart is gonna be like playing a zombie video game. Like, you're gonna have to be careful because there'll be no police. The police are going to be protecting the wealthy. The police are going to be protecting the ultra-rich. They will not be in your normal average neighborhoods. You will not be able to dial 911. You will not be able to call an ambulance to come get you because somebody has stabbed you if you're not somebody important of extreme wealth. Like, it's not going to happen, family. Be prepared. Be prepared. I'm only telling you this because I want you to be prepared. I don't want you to be in the spirit of fear. I want you to be in the spirit of knowledge, the spirit of discernment. So whenever that day, because no man knows. We don't know when that day's going to happen. But when it happens, it's going to be like how ice boils. Ice freezes at 32 degrees. Water freezes and turns into ice at 32 degrees. 31 degrees, it's still water. That 1 degree change, it changes form, family. That's how it's going to be in our society. Everything's going to be normal, and some type of black swan event is going to happen, and all hell's going to break loose. And you just want to be prepared. You want to be able to be like, well, go get your gun, your pistol, your weapon, your Bible, whatever it is that you have to protect yourself, and you're just gonna cut on your radio because, again, at a certain point, television is gonna be cut out. They're gonna stop broadcasting. It is what it is. Go watch 1984. It's gonna be demonic. It's gonna be chaotic. And it's gonna be sad. There are gonna be people that die. And the only thing that's gonna be able to save you is, again, the most Most High God of Israel and your preparedness for this event.